For 7.2, we're going to learn how to multiply and divide rational expressions. Once again, multiply and dividing fractions. For numbers only, I'm going to write 3 over 10. I'm going to write that as 3 over 2 times 5. I'm going to break my 10 as in factors, and I'm multiplying this times 5 over 9. But my 9, I'm going to split it as 3 times 3. The reason why I split it into factors, because the way I'm going to simplify it is by canceling common factors. As long as I choose one from the top, one from the bottom, it doesn't matter which fraction I choose them from. So I'm going to choose the 5. I'm going to cross out the 5s. I'm going to cross out the 3s. On the top, I don't have anything, so I cannot leave it empty. I'm going to put a 1. At the bottom, I have 2 times 3. So I'm going to call this 1 over 6. Same thing with example B. 6 over x, I'm just going to call it 6 over x. My x squared over 12, I'm going to call x squared as x times x. And my 12, I'm going to call that 2 times 6. Let me cancel out common factors. I'm going to cancel out the 6's. I'm going to cancel out the x's. And I'm going to have x over 2. In here, what I'm going to do, my first fraction, x plus y, I'm just going to leave it as x plus y. The bottom, I'm just going to leave it as 2 times x. Now, my second fraction, x squared, I'm going to call that x times x. I'm going to split the factors. At the bottom, I'm going to have x plus y twice. So this x plus y with this x plus y cancel out. This x with this x, common factors. So on the top, I have an x by itself. At the bottom, I have a 2 times x plus y. Now here, I'm going to split out all my everything that I can. On the first fraction, looking at the top of the first fraction, I'm going to split it as x times x plus 3. The bottom, I'm going to have to factor that one as x minus 4, x plus 1. Looking at the second fraction, the top, I'm going to split that as x minus 1, x minus 4. The bottom part, let me split that as x plus 3, x minus 1. So I factor each of my polynomials. Let me cancel out common factors. This x minus 1 with this x minus 1. Once again, choose one from the top, one from the bottom. It doesn't matter which fractions they come from. This x minus 4 with this x minus 4. This x plus 3 with this x plus 3. So I finish with x over x plus 1. I see that in this case, I have x's on both sides, top and bottom. I cannot cancel them because the bottom is x plus 1. Because of the plus sign, it is x plus 1 all at once. Let's take a look at this other example. 4p to the third, I'm going to do 4p times p times p. Well, the bottom is 9 times q. There's nothing I can factor, so I want to see if I can cancel anything. There's nothing I can factor, but for this case, we're going to be asking for the reciprocal. Find the reciprocal of each rational expression. Reciprocal, what it is obviously factor what you can and flip the fraction. Do not change any signs, just flip the fraction. My reciprocal of here is going to be 9q over 4p to the third. Looking at example B, I'm going to see if I can factor anything. I have k minus 3, k plus 3. At the bottom, I have k minus 5, k plus 4. There's nothing I can factor. So now let me flip my expression, and I'm going to call this k squared minus k minus 20 over k squared minus 9. Once again, the reciprocal, the numerator and denominator are switching sides, but obviously simplify if you can. The reason why we do that is because we're going to use it in division. My example here, I'm going to write this as 5 over 8 times, keep in mind I'm changing it to times 16 over 7. So division, we change it to times, but we do the reciprocal of the second fraction. Now here, my 5 over 8, I'm going to simplify it as 5 over 8. 16 over 7, I'm going to do that as 2 times 8 over 7. I split up my 16 because I cancel out the 8s. There's nothing else I can do. Now I have two factors on the top, 5 and 2. I'm going to call that 10 over 7. Right? Combine the factors if you can. Looking at example B, I'm going to rewrite this as y over y plus 3 times y plus 5 over 4 times y. Keep in mind, call it times, so I can split that. I'm going to cancel this y with this y. So I'm going to have on the top y plus 5. At the bottom, I have a 4 and y plus 3. I use parentheses for that. Here, let me rewrite this as 3m times 3m over 2p times 2p times 2p. This is going to be times 16 times p over 6 times m times m times m. Now my 16, I can easily split that as 2 times 8, right? I can easily do that. My 6, I can do that as 2 times 3. All right. Let's take a look at common factors. I can cancel out these 2's. I can cancel out these 3's. Now, here at the bottom of the first fraction, I have 2 times 2 times 2. I have 3 2's. That's an 8, right? 2 times 2 times 2. So I cancel an 8 at the bottom with the 8 on top. I cancel 1, 2 piece at the bottom. I cancel 1, 2 piece on the top. I'm also going to cancel 2 m's at the bottom, and I'm going to cancel 2 m's on top. Looking on the top, I have a 3. You guys see my 3. Looking at the bottom, I have a P and I have an M. Looking at this one, x squared minus 4, keep in mind your difference of the squares. I'm looking at that one as x squared minus 2 squared. So I'm going to call this x minus 2, x plus 2 over x plus 3 times x minus 2 times negative 2x over x plus 2, x plus 3. All right, this x minus 2 with this x minus 2 cancel out. This x plus 2 with this x plus 2 cancel out. I see I have x plus 3 at the bottom twice, but in order for me to cancel, I have to choose one from the top, one from the bottom, so I cannot do anything. So I'm going to have negative 2x over x plus 3, x plus 3. Now, if you want to simplify this as negative 2x, x plus 3 squared, mathematically speaking, both of them are the same thing. Lastly, let me take a look at this. I'm going to go m minus 2, m plus 2 over m minus 1, m plus 1 times 1 over m, 1 minus m. Let me write that as 1, negative 1, m minus 1. Remember this, I can factor a negative 1 to flip things over 2m, m plus 2. Cancel out what we can. And I'm going to have negative m minus 2 over m plus 1. Oh, there's my 2 at the bottom. I did not see my 2. Beautiful.